Okay, so today we will be starting with application layer protocols. And in this video, I will include topics like TELNET, email protocols, SNMP, HTTP, www, and Bluetooth. So let's get started. First, we have the TELNET. Now, what is TELNET? It is a very old protocol that provides command line interface between log and remote computer. I think we all have used AnyDesk, right? Now, basically, what AnyDesk helps to do is connect between two laptops or any devices. We have two devices. One is the client and one is the server. What happens is that the input from client side keyboard to the server, and then the output is from the server to the client's device. Basically, it is used for remotely accessing the particular computer, like we do in AnyDesk. So, what are the important questions that may come? Like, what is Telnet, the full form, and also like what is the purpose, which is remote terminal access. Now, it works on port 23, and the work like it generally works on the TCP model, and also it have two modes. One is active and another is passive. Telnet sends data in plain text, so it is not secured. So, if any question asks that whether Telnet is secured or not, so the answer is no, it's not secured. Now, so in brief, what is Telnet? It is just used for remote terminal access. Now let's talk about the email protocols, and this is the one of the most important protocols of this module. So there are generally three protocols. One is the SMTP, then we have POP3, and then we have IMAP. So SMTP, this is just used for sending emails from client to server. This is very primitive and very basic, and also it doesn't store the email, it only transmits it. Basically what SMTP does is it just sends the email, that's it, and it uses port 25. Then we have the POP3 or post office protocol, which is used for receiving and downloading. So basically SMTP sends, and then the POP3 protocol just receives it. So it is just they complement each other. Now it is used for receiving and downloading email to local device. Then we have port 110 for doing this. Then we have IMAP, which is actually better than these two. So it receives and manages emails on a server. Basically, what it happens is that emails remain on the server synchronized. So when a particular email is received, it will get synchronized in all the three devices. Yeah, then we have the file transfer protocol. This is a very important protocol because this is used for transferring file. Basically what happens is that it's again every protocol is between the client and server. So there has to be a client who is sending the data, and then we have the server who is receiving the data. Now what happens is that this is the server, this is the client, and the interaction is going on between the. Now moving on to the next part, it works using two separate TCP connections, one for commands and one for data. Now these two TCP connections are basically the control and the data channel. Now it is also used for downloading, managing files. And now the thing is, for secure transfer we use SFTP, that is secure transfer protocol. The exam note is FTP is not secured, it uses SFTP or FTPS for security. Now this part is important, which port is generally used. So port 20 and 21 is used. So 20 is for uploading and 21 is for downloading. Next, we have hypertext transfer protocol. It is used for receiving and requesting basically a web page. Now, again, it's the same model, the client and server. And what happens is that client sends the request and server gives the response. This is how major protocols work. Now, it works on port number 80, and HTTPS works on port number 433. Now, what is HTTPS? It is basically used for security. So that's it. And also one important thing is it works on request response model, which is this. This is the whole model on which major communications are done. Next we have SNMP, which is a simple network management protocol. So it is used for monitoring and managing network. It manages routers, switches, server, and all. For SNMP we use UDP. Now it works on port 161, and there are three components: manager, agents, and MIB. Now, what is Bluetooth? Basically, we all know, we have heard it from our childhood, Bluetooth connection, Bluetooth device. Even the headphone that I'm wearing, it is Bluetooth. Now, what happens is that it is used for short-range communication. It follows a master-slave architecture. Now, what is a master-slave architecture? There is a master, like who is sending the command, and there are some slave devices who is working for that command. So over here you can see like this is the master M1, and these are the slaves. The S3, S1, S2, S3. These are the slaves of like slave devices. Now, what is a piconet? Like this is a very common question in Bluetooth. Piconet is basically a small wireless network formed by one of the master device connecting up to seven active devices. Now, basically, suppose there is a master and it connects to seven devices. Basically, like up to. So it could be even two, three. So that forms a piconet. Suppose a particular slave S4 works for M1 as well as M2. Like it is connected to M1 as well as M2. So what happens in this architecture is that basically here it forms a scattered network. Basically, what is a scattered network? It is a like connection of more than one piconet. Now let's move on to the next part. This is the architecture. Now, this is very important architecture too. You are suppose you want to open your laptop and you want to listen to some song, right? So you just open your laptop and you connect this headphone. What happens is that the YouTube will send a frequency, a radio wave. So that is what happens in the radio layer. This is the first layer that sends the radio wave. Then what happens is that we have the base link layer. What happens the baseband link controller? It manages connection, addressing error correction, handles package framing and timing. Basically, it is similar to the data link layer that we have studied, right? Then we have the logical link layer or L2 SCAP. What it does is that it manages multiplexing and multiple apps using Bluetooth. So suppose it could happen that my particular laptop is also using an Bluetooth. Also, my phone is using. Now, which one will this device be connected to and all? So that is basically managed by L2 CAP. And then we have the HCI layer, which generally like it is an interface between the software and Bluetooth hardware. So that is the work of the HCI layer. And then we have the application layer, which like uses like for A to DP, this is for audio. Then we have AVRCP, which is for remote control, HID for keyboard and mouse, like Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. So this is the architecture. In short, what is the architecture? First, there is a radio wave. Then we have a baseband that manages the connection. Then we have a L2 cap layer, which basically used for multiplexing and managing multiple apps used by the Bluetooth device. And then we have the HCI, which is the interface between the software and the hardware. And finally, we have the application layer, which does the application like audio or anything like that.
Okay, so I have added the notes in the description down below, and also please subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.